Well, I am so sorry, you guys. We had some technical difficulties, so I don't know if this is kicking it back off or not. We're gonna figure it out today, some way, somehow. Um, so long story short, this is Wartime CEO Part 2. Sorry about that earlier. I don't know what is going on with this thing. It's cutting up. It just is. So long story short, you see the title is Donut Effect, Top 10%, and 6 rules you need. What are the 6 rules you need? Okay, so let's kick it off. Let's go there. The donut effect. I'm here in Austin, Texas, and you see all this news. Oh, people are leaving Austin, and really, they're not leaving Austin. They're doing the donut effect. They kind of move outside the inner circle of Austin, and they move to the what you could call the suburbs. They move to the Pflugerville, the Round Rock. Right now, Round Rock and Pflugerville have an unlimited number of restaurants and businesses coming out here because it's cheaper rent, it's cheaper opportunities, and it's cheaper for them to have employees and staff and everything else than be downtown and deal with the BS, the politics, and so forth, right? I just got a really funny video from somebody, and I laughed, and this is partly why I was going live. I don't know if it's working correctly because the computer and the phone have been tripping. It's been in heat all day. So drop your city and state in the chat if you could. And it just showed University of Texas with a bunch of Lamborghinis and big money. And trust me, there's probably $1 billion of business owners that are getting ready to prepare for the end of the month. There's a giant June 30th event that's going to be downtown Austin, Texas, which is really the middle of the University of Texas campus. And it's going to be a giant party for us joining the SEC. Why is that? Because we got all this money here. We got all these tech companies here. We got all this money here. And I know y'all think I'm joking, but Texas is going to run a dynasty. And y'all going to be like, Erica, cut it out. You've been living there. You're drinking the Kool-Aid. I want you to go look this past year at how well the Texas girls did in softball. Got all the way to the finals. Got smoked both games. Texas girls basketball got to top 8. Texas girl tennis. Texas girl everything. Almost every sport the Texas girls are in, they were able to get to the top level. It is one of the heaviest recruiting schools out here. The boys, they did not do as well. But give them a year. Texas is out here with some of the best money in the field, recruiting day and night with a flashlight. And I just want to tell y'all that. Y'all think I'm joking about Texas A&M and how one of the girls that's from Texas A&M just got scooped up by UCLA. The crazy part about that is her girlfriend is Tabitha Brown's daughter. So if you don't think that school said Tabitha Brown, go get your little daughter's girlfriend to come play basketball out here. You mad. You crazy. Anyways, she left Texas A&M. Texas A&M sure did put some money in her pocket because she came all the way from Atlanta. Or Marietta, Georgia. Excuse me. I apologize. Now, why am I bringing this up? What does it have to do with Wartime CEO? What does it have to do with the thumbnail? You know, I love Khaleesi. I love Game of Thrones. I love Hannah the Dragon. It's going to come next week. I'm a justify teens black every war crime they do, and that's fine. Why am I bringing this up? The reason I'm bringing this up, excuse me. The reason I'm bringing this up is a lot of people are saying, Erica, the economy's bad out here. Nobody's selling. I shared a video in the community wall about nobody's courses are winning and all this other stuff because that's what Pat Flynn said. And I said, listen, Pat Flynn been out here since 2008. So yeah, according to the peak, yes, the number of course sales went down in 2022, kind of like at the end of the STEMI money. But there's always people, if you look up flex space, new construction, you name it, whatever it is, people will find money for things they like. Someone was talking about, someone did a day. I'm not trying to knock it. They did a day with this person and it was $1,000 a ticket. They had a sold out room. Who was their demographic they had a sold out room for? People 35 to 55 years old. I keep telling y'all, people 35 to 55 years old, wake up and realize, oh shit, my back hurt, my neck hurt, my booty hurt, my sciatica going out. And I don't want to work forever. I got an older parent I need to spend more time with. I'm starting to have grandchildren, people in their 50s. Should be in your 50s, but there's a bunch of grandmas in their 40s, but that's another conversation. And what's happening is they're realizing if someone has the knowledge for me to kind of quicken my retirement, learn how to do new construction, learn how to get rental properties, learn how to get my credit right finally, then I need to do that. You'd be amazed how many phone calls I had where people kids were about to be out of the house, and now they're like, I'm really want to be serious about a business and credit. I'm like, your kid's about to be grown, and it's because the prospect of school, unknown cost, right? The cost of their parents, all this stuff, y'all. So people are trying to, so classes and courses and events and conferences and stuff will never go away. They'll just be really for people who are serious about getting from point A to point B. If you can tell people how to get HUD houses, if you can tell people how to get Section 8 programs, if you can tell people how to do a particular task and they make money at the end of it, you're going to make sales. Point blank, period. There's a reason I've been sharing a couple different affiliate marketing things on the wall, because I watch these creators who've made Facebook groups, who've made very lucrative Facebook groups, very lucrative online opportunities. And this is what you're going to see in the next coming years. Half the folks have to get outside. Now, what do I mean have to get outside? They got to go work. They got to go do blue collar. They got to go do some things. The other half are going to be inside, not by choice, but by force, whether they got to stay home with the kids. They got to figure something to do with this phone and this computer other than posting goofiness all day. Right? They got to produce something that puts some money in their pocket. Do y'all feel me? Or can you hear me? Put a 1 in the comments if you can. And so right now, unfortunately, people are like, Erica, the top 10%, which is what they're looking at online, are traveling the summer in Europe. The top 10% are in private jets. The top 10% are doing A, B, C, D, F, G. I don't know why you're watching the top 10%, hoping your life will be like them, unless you're in the top 10%. When women talk about being stay-at-home moms with their kids, is your husband a top 10% guy? You know what I'm saying? Is he? You have to ask these questions. You have to examine yourself. This is a self-assessment test. There's no judgment here. But the top 10% you're watching are people who've made changes and adjustments to whatever plan they have, right? So, prime example, in the Facebook group, we got 60,000 people in there breaking into tech. A lot of people are like asking very elementary questions. And what it is showing is this person's going to do just bare minimum enough to get their foot in the door of tech. And then when they're at their job, they're not studying anymore. They're not advancing themselves. They're not getting more training for the sake of training. They're literally just doing enough to get their foot in the door. And they're the first people fired. And go, yeah, tech's laying off. I can't depend on that job. The ideal that you're going to go anywhere and chill and not keep advancing. I mean, ask nurses. Every time you turn around, all the nurses I know and the nurses in our family, they were going to trainings. They were going to seminars. They're going to update and certifications. I had an aunt. One of my aunts went from one floor to management to ER nurse to surgical nurse, back down to management, then back down to ER, and then back down to night shift because she was getting older. And she's like, I'm tired. So when you talk to people and they think they're just going to get in a career and coast, I don't know where y'all getting that information from. That's not how that's happening. But they're seeing top 10% people, so they're assuming their life will be the same. Now, why am I saying top 10% over and over again? And let's go there for a second. 98% of industries are hiring. If you want to go be a plumber today, you can get a job. If you want to go be a roofer today, you can go have a job. You want to be a local driver, you can have a job. You want to go work at the school. Okay, they got something for you. And they'll make you a coach, they'll make you a lunch lady, a bus driver, a roofer, shit. They'll make you all the things at the school. Okay, they that short on people at the schools. 98% of industries are hiring. So this rhetoric that no one's hiring, there's a shortage in jobs, it's very much a lie, because what it's saying is these are jobs I just don't like. Right? And I refuse to accept them. And so the government has allowed the doors to open recklessly at our border, because they're like, sure, you don't want to do it? No problem. Jimmy Julu over here will do it gladly. Timmy Tutu will do it gladly. Jose whoever will do it gladly. And in 2 years, they'll qualify for a home. They'll buy a home. They'll start businesses. They'll have little shops. They'll hire more of their friends and family. And then you'll look up in 5 years and go, this isn't the America I knew. What's going on with America? Like, you already know that's what's about to happen. Like, I don't have to explain that to y'all. Like, I'm being really serious right now. I brought on Malik to show y'all where literally the Hispanic people have went from working in the house to management. They literally are hiring the Africans, right? They're literally hiring the Africans from different countries to do the physical labor of building houses in Philly as they sit as the manager. No longer are they jumping up on ladders and climbing. And that's been a what? A 10-year process? If you really be honest, some of these people that you see managing these little construction companies are 25 and 26 and 27 years old. So they've been doing roofing or different things for maybe 4 or 5 years. Pay attention. So listen, again, 98% of industries hiring, you'll be fine. But what happens is there's a 2%. Now, what's the 2%? Let's go there. Let's go there. Okay. The NBA, the WNBA, the actors, the entertainment, the podcast, the juicy, exciting jobs. Erica, I want to be a podcaster. I want to be a content creator. I want to be, and I literally put together the digital real estate course and told you step by step how you can make money. I literally will show you countless examples of people how to make money. I will show you if you treat it like a business, you will make money. If you make a Facebook group, you will make money. If you will collectively do A, B, and C, you will make money. If you will put products out there, you will make money. I had a student's books and I meant to show them as an example. They're sitting on my counter. And whenever y'all send me stuff, we open it, we do a little review video. I haven't forgot about you. I just maybe haven't posted the video yet. They're always shorts. And she has 3 books she sent me. She did an excellent job. First thing I want to do is send her an email and go put these on TikTok. Go put these on ClickBank and make them affiliate and give your affiliate 50% and watch how many books you sell. Because the name of the game is, how does this benefit me? How does this put money in my pocket? And you have to go from a earner to a owner. Okay, that's the theme for today. You have to go to an owner from an earner. And many of you are like, how can I earn more money? How can I get the highest paying job? How can I get a $250,000 tech job? And I'm just chilling and I don't have to do much. And I'm looking at you like you crazy. You have to get your mindset from earner to owner. And this is even a problem when it comes to, let me just say that at 2%, I've just named the NBA, the actors, the entertainment. Do you know that 70% of actors make less than $23,000 a year? That's how they qualify for that poor man's health insurance. This is why when Wendell, who's a great black man who's been building houses in New Orleans and doing all this great stuff, he was reporting that he was facing discrimination in, was it the Harlem, to rent an apartment. He's like, I'm on TV shows. And the first thing Malik said is, I don't care how many TV shows you are. Is your credit bad? Have you had a bunch of evictions? Because 70% of actors make under $23,000 a year. And this is, of course, people who are reporting in the Actors Guild and all this other stuff. And this is the people applying for health insurance, the discount cheap health insurance because they're broke. Okay. So they can get medical treatment. No disrespect. Right. So everybody wants to be in that 2% where you're an actor, you're NBA, you're entertainment, you're a podcaster, but they don't want to do the work. Now, prime example, there's a video that was I saw earlier and I was starting laughing because today's been a crazy day. We did our hot works app. We went and checked out warehouses. We went and checked out offices. Again, it's tapped out here in Austin. And when I mean Austin, I mean the edges, the suburbs. Because if you live in a nice big, excuse my language, suburb house over here, you're going to find the closest office space near you. And you're going to find the closest flex space near you. You're going to find the closest warehouse space near you. So it's tight out here. I'm like, man, what the what? So long story short, those people are good. The donut effect works for those people. They're chilling. But when you want to be that 2%, you want to live in a downtown high rise and record videos from your phone, but not do the business side of things, it leads to danger. So prime example, Graham Stephan said on an interview that he was like, what's his name? Caleb or whatever pays his executive producer, junior producer, $50,000 a year. And he said, well, he probably will make $100,000 a year because we live here in Austin, Texas, and there's TV shows here. So if he does a good job for me, he can go work for other YouTubers and other TV shows and make 100,000. So he's paying him 50, and his junior producer got smart and said, yeah, get on him, Graham. And Graham goes, oh, there are people that do that job for free. I said, Graham, you used to live in California where it's flooded with people who want to be famous and they want to be on TV so bad. So they'll live off credit cards, hoping one day that you'll pay them real money for working for you. So Graham, of course, got all this backlash. He's like, you guys, I was joking, yada, yada, yada. We all know you weren't joking, dude. You were seriously milking somebody for free labor and you just got caught in the conversation. When you, of all people, can afford to pay it. And that's another example of becoming an owner, not an earner, because these people are putting them in this position where they got to work for these YouTubers, these different companies, right? And they want the glamour of the entertainment industry, not realizing there's a lot of drama there, right? There's a lot of drama there. But if you're any of these kids that I see out here, and when I say kids, I mean anybody younger than me at this point, right? Wanting to be in this entertainment field, and that's why I've been posting so many videos on the community wall. If you pay attention, the first thing they do, they go find staffing agencies. They go hire people temporarily. They go get as much help as possible. And this is what's going to free them from the trap of the entrepreneur self-employed trap, where I just do everything and I have a one-person business and it makes $1 million. That's why I share a lot of those videos of starter story. That's why when I keep telling y'all, if I did this all over again, I'd have 4 employees and they would be a social media manager, an operations manager, a customer success person, and a salesperson. I tell y'all that over and over again because I want y'all to understand that this stuff is not rocket science. It's very simplistic. And every day I keep putting up a very, just gonna say it, and y'all can hate me, a very regular, average white girl will be like, I made $400,000 this year, and so off my channel, and you be like, what? And I can post those every day. I show the black mom that's a stay-at-home mom who made $2 million, and it's because she does a combination of Facebook groups, YouTube, Facebook, and she's reusing the same content, reusing it. Often, right? And it pops up in my feed and it drives me crazy because, listen, I'm a little petty, right? There's certain people I've reached out to do interviews and they didn't want to do them, and I'm like, what the, or whatever, right? And so, but I know they're making big money because I've been on the backside of this for 10 years now, right? I did it because I got monetized in a month, but I hate talking about entertainment. Journey to Jasmine, don't talk about it. Start another channel and talk about something different, or literally just decide to talk about something different. It's up to you. Facts, no fluff. Alba and Preach did a video on how tech and AI is destroying marketing and ad agencies. Oh my God, listen. And I still gotta fix it. I recorded a bunch of videos to give to people who came to my event. They've been destroyed in one of the laptops. We have 3 laptops at home, and I went to Best Buy. I tried to fix it. I can't fix it. I'm gonna have to re-record this stuff. But literally, there's a woman who teaches Facebook ads, and I literally, for $87, right? And if you really follow it, instead of you dumping $2,000 to $5,000 a month with some of these ads, guys, you could literally get yourself a ton of traction by yourself. But you have to follow steps. And this is the problem. Most people who are creatives, they don't want to follow steps. Most people who think they're so creative, they don't want to follow any rules. So you'll tell them step 1, 2, 3. Well, Erica, I did steps 1 and 3 and I didn't get results. Well, guess what? You didn't follow steps 1, 2, 3, right? And you'll tell them this. And again, this is why I talk about Wartime CEO. You have to understand, and I'm not trying to scare y'all in any capacity. I'm here in Austin, Texas, one of the hottest markets. I'm talking about hands down, money-wise, money is flowing in the streets here. And it is thinned out at some plazas, some areas. I was in an area the other day and it was like 8 o'clock and the plaza was dead. And I said, oh, baby. This thin at 8 o'clock at p.m. on a Friday in Austin, Texas. I drove through other cities. I've been in a lot of other places and it's dead. Okay. I'm seeing Facebook ads. Hold on. I don't even like your comment. So I'm just gonna put you in timeout. Anyway, I'm seeing Facebook ads for vacationing, right? For vacationing in places that before would have just had visitors. And what do I mean? Like, there's places around Lake Tahoe. There's places around Washington State, Alaska. All these places would have just already had normal visitors. They're like we're dying here. They're running Facebook ads to get your attention. Now, why am I bringing this up? What does this do with Wartime CEO? A lot of people right now are on hot girl summer. What do we call hot girl summer? People are like, oh, I'm doing Europe this summer. I'm in Europe and I'm in these places. All these places that are overly charging right now. I mean, it's not even fun to go to Europe in the summer. I've been there with my family. It's hot. There's pickpockets. It's overcrowded. Americans out there acting a fool. Your best bet is to go to Croatia, Europe, Italy, all these places in September and October because it's a shoulder season. But I'm gonna leave that there. I'm not again. So these places that are running these ads trying to recruit me for visiting are in Alaska and Canada. And when you say top 10%, experiences, instead of trying to bust your budget right now in the summer of Europe, you would be smarter and wiser to be what? Go to Canada and get top experiences. I was at a basically a European version of a spa there, European version of a top spa there, and it's amazing, right? Um, and it was cheap, right? I'll go to Alaska. I go to Alaska every year, and there's countless different money, right? That they're having to be like, hey, we'll pick you up from your hotel, we'll feed you lunch, we'll do this, we'll do that, we'll take you in the Alaskan wilderness, we'll put you in a helicopter, we'll put you on a boat, we'll put you on a plane, we'll do all these things for $5.99, and you're like, good gracious. And so what happens is, while everybody's doing what the herd is doing, let's go to Europe because look at these people on a boat. The top tier experiences are in America. Ask Europeans where they are. If they're not dependent on making tourism money in their city and state, they come here in the summer. Go to Utah. Go hike out there at Yellowstone. Half the people you meet are from Europe, and they're like, "Oh, it's so beautiful in America right now. The summers are the best." When we went to Yellowstone every year, like clockwork, when we go to Yellowstone, it's countless buses of Asian people pulling out the bus, Chinese, Korean, like, "Oh my God, yes, it's so beautiful," like every time. So people who are from America have this obsession, this wonder travel lust, and they're not even fully traveling in their own country. So if you want the top 10 experiences, you want to fly on a semi-private plane, you want to do all this stuff, everything's on discount. This is why I'm even doing the Wartime CEO series. I'm going to record some really cool, fun stuff, and we're going to release it probably September, October. But I want you to understand, most people are going to say, well, Erica, if you're an entrepreneur, you should be working every day. You should be doing this grinding. Man, I used to tie my identity to that grinding bullshit, and I realized every of them little goofy white boys I'd be at them conferences with be like, girl, just get 5 people on staff for $30K a year and keep it moving, or 30, 40K a year. And I thought, man, that's so low. No, that's a lot of the prices out here. It's what people pay with. So, let's say you be a nicer, boss, and you pay 5 people $50K a year. That's 250,000, which sounds like a lot. Okay. All right. But if each employee, and this is just numbers off, Grant Cardone, a lot of business training, each employee produces you $250,000 in income. Those 5 people are going to make your company 1 point some change million, right? Don't make me do math out loud, but 5 employees times 250,000. Someone put it in the comments for me. And the reason I bring that up is people are saying, I want this top 10 experience life. I want to fly private. I want to do all these amazing things. I want to do over the top activities, right? I want to live the 2% baller life, right? This is why all these student athletes are jumping schools, getting NLI money, getting deals, doing whatever. That is about to be just juicy, ridiculous on TV, right? But you actually can have a piece of that. Thank you so much. Thank you so much. You have 5 employees. They're going to produce you that kind of money. Okay. What you're having, the problem is people don't want to go in the lane where there's the wave. Get into the wave. Now I posted a map on the wall that showed you what states were hot and heavy money, hot and heavy hiring. Alaska, Las Vegas, Texas, parts of the Carolinas. Georgia was a little light, right? Several other states. Why are they hot and heavy? Because they need the skills and they're willing to pay incentives and get people here. Alaska, 1 in every 49 people flies a plane, knows how to fix a plane, knows how to fix things. Alaska is pretty much one of the last places where every man you meet has some type of technical skill. He can fix things, he can build things, he can do things. And so every year these companies recruit men out of Alaska to come here to Texas. I don't know if you've ever been to Dallas American Airlines Airport, but they have all these Alaska license plates where they recruit these men and their families to come help us here at American Airlines in Dallas. Come here to Houston. Come fix these planes. Come work. Come do all this stuff. And a lot of those guys will make a ton of money and they'll go sit in Alaska for the rest of the winter. It's very, very common. Very, very common. Okay. And that requires you to have skill. That requires you to be more of an owner than an earner, right? You can dictate how much you get paid when you have certain level of skills. Now that led into me writing like the 6 skill sets you need or whatever. And I just want to say, like, again, a lot of times people say I'm not passionate about that, Eric. I'm not passionate about roofing. Listen, ain't nobody passionate about being on roofs, okay? But what you can be passionate about is that pay. And then that pay allows you to feed your family. That pay allows you to go do other things. That pay allows you to create jobs at your company, right? But again, go where you figure out your talent and then try to have some passion with that. Okay. The 6 rules that I was saying I was going to talk about. Um, okay, whatever that is. I don't know what that's about. Anyways, the 6 ones I was talking about, this is something you hear all the time from people. Life is hard, things are expensive. We are in what we would consider under normal numbers, if all the numbers were compiled, a recession, right? We would, and a lot of things that you think are expensive, luxury trips, events, all that stuff, it is not. This is a mindset. When people keep saying life is hard, things are expensive, they're beating that into you to excuse them not performing well. They're beating that into you to excuse them not traveling. I see so many countless videos on TikTok of women crying. I begged my ex-husband to take us on trips and to Disneyland and the here and the there, and he wouldn't do it, right? And so this is, listen, okay, you're getting off track, and so I'm gonna put you in timeout because you're distracting me in my conversation. So anyways, when someone's talking about life is hard and things are expensive and everything's so hard, blah blah blah, right? They're training themselves and their children to not engage, not pursue, not inquire, not Google, not figure it out. That's why when people talk about, when I had Malik on talking about Philly, I'm like, most of the problem is the kids are around bums all day. They're around bum parents who don't figure out a way to get out of their bad situation. And so the kids are watching bum activities all day and then do more bum activities. I went to this new construction site, and the neighbors next door. Thank you so much. Thank you, Dominic. Whoever has wrenches, when people start doing some weird stuff or throwing me off, like, let me know. Just whoop, whoop, time them out. Okay. And so we looked at the house next door. It had 9 cars in the yard. We're like, what is going on? 9 cars in the yard? It's a small, barely a 3-bedroom house. And he said, yeah, they inherited from their grandparents. And so they just stay in there till somebody buys them out. I said, if you got 9 cars in the yard, people just sitting in there like bums, waiting to be bought out of a house that's falling apart. No one's investing in the house and building it up or fixing it. What do the children see? The children see we're all just here, cool, hanging at grandma's house, doing what we can do, bumming it, and bums beget bums, as somebody said in the comments. So again, you have to be careful about what you're saying. One of the rules you want to remove out your vocabulary is life is hard and things are expensive. Remove that. A second one, because 3 of these are going to be things to remove, 3 of these are going to be good ones, okay? Second one, you need a degree to be successful. And I'll be making some posts all the rest of the week. And again, as a college educated person, yes, there's a lot of stats supporting college educated people. But again, I think we have to be careful on that. It's a determined person, a hardworking person. There was a black man with the engineering degree on TikTok, Instagram, and it was kind of like viral, right? And I was like, yeah, be careful, girls. I know a man who has an engineering degree. He hasn't worked. His wife took care of him the past 6 years. Oh, that's a one-off. A man with a degree in engineering is always going to have a job. I actually know 6 women who were married to men who were engineers by degree, and they were bums, and they had to divorce them. And 2 of the girls had to pay alimony because they were also engineers. So this ideal that I have a degree, that means I have a degree, so I will be successful, is false. Instead of saying this man or woman has a degree, so they will be successful, I say check their parents, check their background. What do they do when times are hard? What do they do when their back's against the wall? Do they go work? Do they go figure something out? Do they sit down with a pen and paper and get creative? I remember so many of my friends and family like, man, you really sit down and brainstorm with some paper, don't you, Erica? I said, yeah, I watched my parents in the military bust out a notebook the first of the month and write their bills in an accounting book and say, this is what we got. We can do a cookout maybe next week on the 15th. But that's what we got, right? Like I watched adults sit down and plan. And that's what you do. You can't just say, well, we just gonna wing it. On God, good luck, whatever. Like that's not how that works. So even when people say this person was smart enough to finish their degree or they went to the classes, you can't train ambition. You just can't. Right? Right now, I have 2 nephews, one nephew and then another cousin who are not going to college. And in our family, the rule of thumb is all boys go into the military. They do at least 2 years, 3 years. They do some type of minimum, and then they can have their structure that they go use for GI Bill or a VA loan. And we have two young men who are going to buck the trend, but they already have ambition and they have a structured path of where they want to go. But you can already tell, you can feel our family, they're older and they want to say, but they need to go to college or they need to do the military. If they don't do it, they won't be successful. And I hear them say it every day. I see them young men. I say, listen to me. You're 17. You know what you want to do. You want to be this. You want to do this with your tool belt. You want to do this with your lawn care company. You want to do this. Do it. Listen to your auntie. Like, I will pay you good money to, like, go get like a little 6-month trade from the community college so everybody will get off your back. But you know what you're doing, right? I'm just letting you know. Degrees are like a ticket to the dance. It's general admission ticket. Still got to get invited. Got to get a date, transportation. Exactly. It's just not. It's not. So let that one go. That's a rule people try to live by. To be honest, my children, if they're going to college, they're probably going to go be around Ivy League college. Just being honest. If Harvard and Yale are still worth anything, as Grant Cardone says, like Grant Cardone's daughter, he told her, you're going to be a millionaire, but I know you're going to want to be around people your own age, even though you're acting like you're so grown and a little too grown for my liking, in my opinion. At some point, she's going to have that tilt backwards where she's going to want to be around people her own age and goof off a bit. So he's like, I will send her to Harvard, Yale, or I think I can't remember the third one, the other Ivy League school. And he was like, because I know she'll be around people of families of wealth, influence, etc., right? You're there for connections, baby. You're not just there to get drunk and party all weekend, like most people think, okay? So that's that on that one. But number 3, all rich people are greedy. It might have been Princeton he named. It might have been. Number 3, all rich people are greedy. Oh, the rich need to pay more. Oh, the rich got to do better. Oh, the rich got to do this. The rich got to do that. And I'm like, what is that about? Right? And 9 times out of 10, like, this woman was going on a rant. She's like, I saw a homeless family today, and the daggone movie stars and the rich people need to build more affordable housing. And what was funny is, like, I think it was All Things Real. He was like, won't you build it, right? Because what's happening if Brad Pitt builds an apartment and somebody falls down the stairs, something happens at the apartment. Guess what they always say? Well, Brad Pitt's faulty apartment. Brad Pitt's this or Brad Pitt's that. This is why wealthier people may be investing in all types of charities and foundations, but they don't want to be too directly tied to the poors. Let's just say it that way, the poors, right? Because again, the crazy part is, what's his name? Deion Sanders' son got in a fight. And I guess he somehow pushed this security guard, right? The security guard cracks the back of the neck, right? Like not paralyzed, but enough, he's an older brother doing security. Let's really start there. And the more you hear the brother talk, you like, brother, I know why you was doing security. You didn't have any other job skills. You sound like a scammer. You sound sketchy, right? And so some lawyers done got in his ear and says, oh, brother, you had to get a neck surgery. Oh, you injured from that scuffle with Deion Sanders' children. They owe you $11 million. Listen, that man ain't worth $11 million if he died tomorrow with an insurance policy. Okay? So when Deion Sanders is getting deposition, he's like, why are we here today? Do you know why we're here today? He's like, yeah, because that bum over there won't go get a job. And I wanted to laugh so hard, but I want you to understand this is going to happen in such a vicious manner in the next 5 years. Like, lots of lawsuits on people, right? And so the rich are greedy mantra comes from a lot of folks being like, well, you didn't earn it, or whatever their thought process is. Or the rich should be doing more for the poor people. And I'm like, the best thing a rich person can do for you is start a company, hire you, or pay for some scholarships at colleges, right? The best thing you can do is not be poor, right? If you want to complain about how to help the poor, don't be poor. And then you can donate to all the poor you want, right? So that's that one. I'm gonna leave that alone because I could go down a rabbit hole. But a lot of people were shocked on TikTok on Monaco. I don't know if you guys know, they do the racing over there. There's a very wealthy guy out of Miami. He had to take a helicopter into Monaco because there was no rooms for rent. You could rent a boat, and it was like $20,000 a night to sleep in a one room on a boat in Monaco. So he was like, I'm gonna just stay across the way and y'all gonna fly me into Monaco. And it was cheaper to fly in a helicopter every day to go see the races in Monaco than to actually be in Monaco, if you understand how rich that is. And so it was like a rich off. It was like people with yachts, and they had Lamborghinis on top of yachts. It was just insane. People like, I never knew rich people showed off. I said they do, just not to you. They having a rich off with each other. Why they gonna show you anything? That's crazy, right? If anything, I've been places where I'm at the golf course and everybody's dressing down real like just in a polo out here, just golfing. Then get in the parking lot, old boy's hopping in the most expensive car you've seen. You're like, that's a brand new Porsche. That's a brand new yours. People are not in a competition with lower income folks. If anything, they don't want lower income folks to see them, if at all possible, because that's a setup for some robbery. You know what I'm saying? Okay. Number 4, develop a skill set. I watched a couple people who, these guys people will laugh at them, but I've watched a couple 20-something-year-old guys who went out and got 100K credit cards, and then they all did drop shipping, and they're kind of follow the leader kind of thing. And they making it work. Some of them came from England. They're living in Thailand, the cheap rent, cheap workers, VA workers, helping them do it all. There's a set of boys, they live with their parents. They're 20 and 21 years old, going to college and started drop shipping. And they were with their parents. And so I'm watching several of these videos, listening to these guys, and they were like, listen, I needed a skill set. I didn't want to go to college anymore. I couldn't tell my parents because they were Asian. I couldn't tell my parents we didn't want to go to college no more because we're Asian. They ain't trying to hear that. They're Koreans. They're broke. They came to America with no money. They sacrificed for us. We can't tell them we don't have no money. So they pretended to go to class. They took a lighter schedule for a year while they grew this business. They grew the business so much they retired their mom after a year and a half. And they gave their parents 2 new iPhones. And the Asian father in the video, it teared me up. He was just like, my boys are going to be all right. And that was he didn't have, I'm proud of you, I love you, any of those words. If you know about Asian parents, it's just like any other immigrant parents. They ain't going to say, man, I love you, man. It was like, my boys are going to be all right. And you're like, damn, like they literally had a moment shift where they're like, our kids are going to make it in this country. You know what I'm saying? And so you have to develop some type of skill set. You may not agree with dropshipping. You may not agree with e-com. You may not agree with ticket reselling. You may not agree with the millions of ways online to make money, but there's a million of them. Okay. You may not agree with wholesaling, all of it. You may not agree. That's okay. But a lot of these young people are getting to it. They're like, give me the blueprint. I'm going to do it. I've got a set of credit cards. I'm going to follow steps 1 through 3, and they're going to keep it moving. It's the person that's 40s and 50s and 60s that you're convincing a new way. Just being honest. Like, if I can show y'all how many like testimonials where people like, don't use my face, or use my writings, Eric, or use my email, but don't use my face. And it's like, I'm in Miami, I did this, or I'm in Florida, I did this. I follow what you say. There's one girl, I didn't even know she went to one of the events, and she said, hey, I just want to know, we never met, but I watched your videos. I went to this event and I built my first property. I just want to thank you. I'm like, dang. Thank you so much. I get a lot of these. And so we're just trying to figure out how to do a compilation video of all this stuff in a way that's beautiful and not jerky looking, right? Or arrogant looking, right? Because people get really sensitive. But the younger folks are getting to it. They're just not playing with y'all. They're not listening to y'all. If you don't have the results, they're not listening. If you don't have the blueprint, they're not listening. If you can't show them steps 1 through 3, they ain't trying to hear it. They get into it. And I'm very excited about these young people developing a skill set. Same thing when I watch these young people building homes, roofing, all of it, blue collar stuff. There's a white boy, he was showing how he would go underbid other blue collar people because he was just trying to get jobs. You know what I'm saying? And he then built a big old company out of it. So these kids are hungry for it. Thank you so much. I appreciate it. Number 5, become visible and verifiable. Let me say this again. Let me say this multiple times. Become visible and verifiable. Become visible and verifiable. Become visible and verifiable. What do I mean when I say these 2 words? Visible and verifiable. There is this ingrained thing in our culture where they're like, stay under the radar. Don't let nobody know what your business is. Don't tell nobody out here in the street. Don't do any of this. It's in Hispanic culture too. There was a guy was saying like, he has a lot of Hispanic men. He tries to tell them like, you gotta tell people about your business. Now, it's multiple reasons. Poverty, People discounting your ideals. I experience this on a daily. I tell people an ideal, I'm already in the process of the ideal. It's already starting to make money. And they're like, oh, I wouldn't do that. I mean, I ain't telling you because I want your opinion. I'm telling you because I'm already doing it. Like, what are you talking about? Okay, right? And so you have to move from a place of already in motion, because then people have no choice but to get behind it, get with it, or go, okay, cool. You know what I'm saying? They have no choice. They just got to get with it. They got to get with it, or you're going to be like, why you tripping? Why you not getting with it? All right? That happens, okay? So again, become visible and verifiable. You ain't got to go tell all your cousins at the cookout what you're doing, but I need you to go get visible and verifiable with people in your industry. And you don't, and depending on your industry, you ain't got to play with a lot of them. You got to pick 2 or 3 and keep it pushing, right? Let yourself be known. If you're trying to be a subcontractor somewhere, you're trying to do any of this type of businesses, and you're trying to get these government contracts, you need to go let yourself be known. There's like 5 events this week. I'm not even excited about going to some of them, but it's one of those things becoming visible and verifiable. Visible and verifiable. Like, oh, you do what? Oh, you did when? Right? Is there somebody else who can verify what you do? Testimonials help with that. Video reviews help with that. The way a lot of people are making this money online with affiliate marketing videos, that's a way to become visible and verifiable. Collaborations, like the algorithm is really ratcheting down for a lot of people, right? And it's not just me. It's not just it's literally it's happening for a lot of people across a lot of platforms. And what I want you to understand is one of the ways, and I told my everybody at the conferences this, is these collabs. You're going to see a ton of people doing collabs. The Gallo guy, Scott Gallo, wrote a book, right? And he's on a tour. And this is when you get people on any kind of collabo. He's on a tour. I've seen him on small little channels. I've seen him on big channels. I've seen him on TV, all of it. Because when someone's running a book tour, they're going to hit them all, right? So he's been on like 200 different interviews. And I get it, right? Because he's becoming visible and verifiable, right? You may not know him for selling his company for all these millions of dollars. You may not know him for being super popular during the pandemic. You may not remember him for a lot of stuff, because guess what? People have short-term memories, and in 2 to 3 months, they forget a lot of stuff quickly. They be like, who is that? What were they doing? There's been black shows on CNBC and MSNBC that I've already forgot the name of the host, but I remember them being on there, right? So visible and verifiable to your segment. You need to do that. Okay. Last one is 6 is seek mentors. Seek people who are ahead of you in what you're trying to do. And you have to sometimes become a student. Like, I had to listen to a younger person tell me how to do something, and I was sitting there like, I don't want to hear this. But I knew I needed to hear it, right? And sometimes you have to seek mentors, and you got to be careful who you're seeking, right? It's not always the loudest and the flashiest. Again, visible and verifiable. Is this somebody you can verify has done this work? Can you verify they've built houses? Can you verify they've done this? Do they have a license? Can they show you things? Like, I literally went to a meeting with someone, and they were just casually showing me as much of part of their business as possible. They wanted to show me they were verifiable, and I was very grateful for it. So what a lot of people are going to have to realize is, if someone has the answer and the 1, 2, 3, get with that person, get that 1, 2, 3, right? Get into the jet stream, as they would call it. Keep it simple, right? They're so much so. I had someone on here on this channel, Classy Climber, drop $100K with the oil and gas company I referred them to. Is putting big money in their pocket every month. But you got to get to a point where you got $100K sent off to the side. How do you do that? You build up the income, you build up the skill set, you get visible and verifiable, you put that money off to the side, and you actually can make it do things for you. My highest recommendation, I'm not going to keep y'all here. I thought I was going to do 30 minutes, but I know y'all know I'll be going too long. I'm going to get it wrapped up, is get to the wave. A lot of people are like, oh, I'm not going to ride the wave. I do what I want to do. I'm counterculture. I do whatever else I want to do. Listen, when it comes to cowboy hats and talking about conservative things, I've been counterculture. But when it comes to, hey, this is a wave, hop on this wave while it's easy, be smart, right? Figure out what the wave is, where you're at, and in your life, and where you're going. Because you'll look up again, like I said a while ago, there was an affiliate marketing group. I'm still a part of it. Their links are still in my videos. They had a wave going on Instagram, on TikTok, all the platforms. And about the top 10 women made $5 million a piece. I'm talking about life-changing money. When you're a soccer mom with a house and kids and car, you put 5 million on that, they don't go ball out. They go buy a nicer house for sure. And they maybe buy a new SUV, but they don't ball out because they already got the bulk of stuff. They got the kids, they got the husband, they chilling, right? And it don't take all year. Most of the people I'm talking about in that top 10, they did it for a year. They're posting on Instagram every day, posting on TikTok every day, posting on YouTube every day for a year. But there's waves in business and life. And so now that company's adjusted the pay structure. Those ladies said, peace out. We'll do partnerships and do our own stuff. We don't got to do this no more. So when I recommend things or I recommend stuff, sometimes it's a wave. You got to catch the wave, right? And sometimes you got to say, is this a wave I can catch and long-term invest? Prime example, all these kids with these NLI money getting $100,000 or $1 million. If somebody's really in their ear, that million could last you a lifetime. Now you're going to say, what? What do you mean? What do you mean $1 million can last you a lifetime? That's not enough money. If you live off 50 grand a year, you're going to run out in 20 years, because that's Grant Cardo's favorite thing. If you get $1 million, you're going to run out in 20 years of it. But if you got $1 million and someone puts you a little bit of your money in here in a couple of rentals, or they put a little bit of your money in maybe a UPS store or a franchise, you're not going to run out of money. You're literally going to just have reoccurring income for the rest of your life if you hold on to it. The big difference is we switched to an asset-based society in 1971. And people out here arguing, I don't want to be a homeowner. I don't want to own a car. I don't want to own anything. There's too much responsibility. Everything costs too much. And you go, you literally told me, let's say it's a rainy country and you don't want to put a raincoat on. I'm wet, everybody. Help. Baby, it's a rainy country. Why don't you have a raincoat on? You visiting Scotland in the wet season and acting like you don't need a raincoat. It's crazy. This is a country of assets. These people will come here, no matter the race, no matter what country, no matter where they're from. They will work for 2 years. 2 years is a magical time in America. Why do I want to say that? I want y'all to tell y'all this so badly. There's a guy out of Dallas. We were supposed to do an interview. We didn't get it done. And he came out of prison after 7 years. Now, you know what happens in 7 years? Everything falls off your credit, okay? He was in prison for 7 years for murder. Let's just go that manslaughter. Let's adjust the words. It was an accident, okay? And when he came out, that credit was fresh and new, right? He gets that first batch of credit cards, does some new construction, and within that 2-year window was able to get massive, huge lines of credits. And now 5 years removed out of prison, dude's a multimillionaire. He said, well, man, what happened? What happened? He said, man, I read all these cash flow quadrant books. I read all these books on real estate while I was in jail. And I just read books. And then I realized when I come out, I can do this if I just stay focused on it. I want y'all to understand, these people are coming to this country like that man that just left prison. 2 years of money coming in your bank, 2 years of a W-2, like somebody said in the comments, 2 years of stuff will get you credit cards, will get you a mortgage, will get you all kind of stuff. Right? So many people right now, and so many people are 2020 happened and they didn't wake up. They still sleep. They still thinking they're going to be able to remote work with low skills. They think they're not going to have to be stressed about kids and college and paperwork. They still kind of in denial. They kind of missed the wave of 2020 and they're still not awake, which is unfortunate. But I want you to understand, this is the time. This is the summer. This is the fall. While everybody's talking about European summer, cool. Let them have European summer because that's all they got. They're going to go ball out this summer and be at a job they hate for the rest of the winter. They're going to be sad. The kids going to be complaining. Mom, I need money. These are the same people that's going to line up talking about they need a backpack and the kid need a free haircut. We already know this. They can't afford school supplies. Every time I hear parents crying about school supplies, I'd be like, show me the paper. It'd be $100, y'all. It'd be $100 in a year worth of school supplies. And they're crying. Oh, why do they need so many supplies? Where are the supplies going? Is it for other children? Baby, your mama's on TV crying about $100. That's down bad. No matter what they tell you, that's down bad. If your mom can't just go to Office Depot right now and pick up 10 notebooks for you at $2.69 a notebook, she down bad. And we have a lot of people in this country who are down bad, but in denial and refusal to I need to either become an earner or an owner. And if I'm just going to sit in the earner side, I need to shut up. Okay? So I just wanted to go over that for you guys. I just want to make that I just want to make you guys understand, like when I be like, oh, it's go time. I know y'all be laughing like, Erica been saying that for years. This winter's coming. But like, if you ain't felt the pinch of the inflation, like I went to the store and I told y'all how all the ribeyes were $29. The same ribeyes that were $20 to $21 last week, and the same ribeyes that were $18 a couple weeks ago before that. And I keep telling you in August the price gonna go up some more. All right. Call me when you Erica, the ribeyes are 35. I know. Our dollar's losing value, losing its value. So how do you live in an economy where the dollar's losing your value? Go read anything on Argentina. Go read anything on South America. It's the people who had businesses, transportation companies, moving stuff, doing stuff, had skills that worked at a hospital, doctors. The doctors always ate. Even if the hospital was low on money, the doctor always ate. People had injuries. Hey man, I can give you some chickens. I can give you this. I can give you that. Please, my mama, they need help. They always gonna eat. People with a skill always gonna eat. People that can make money move around are always going to eat. If you see all these people in these warehouses, why they got all these warehouses? He who sits on assets wins. If you got a warehouse full of assets that's valued at $5 million, guess what you can tell the bank? Hey, this is $5 million of assets. The bank can write you a loan based off what? Those assets inside those warehouses. Come on. I don't think y'all hear me. Okay? So you need to either be in a position, go check with Diamond Dave. You need to make your money move every day. Monday through Friday. Don't overtrade, but go ask him. You need to make your money move every day. You're in an economy where the money's losing its value, so you need to make what? The money move every day. I watched this video, and you can make fun of him. Johnny Bravo be doing the most on YouTube, but literally, he was like Amazon, private labeling, all this other stuff, and I was like, man, I ain't really watching that. But then I watched it. It's a bunch of Me Too stuff going on there, but and when I say Me Too, people copying other companies, but they making money. Right? Because all the little stuff you see, the tailgate stuff, like whenever you go to somebody's cookout at their house and they got all these little items, where they come from, usually the internet. When you go out here and you're looking all over at people's events and tailgates and birthday parties, where does stuff come? 9 times out of 10, the internet. Where are moms when they're price sensitive shopping? On the internet. She ain't got time to drive her gas out of her SUV and go look at 5 stores, but she do got time to look on the internet. So be in the position of an owner, not an earner, where you're selling things to people and getting that money in. And now at that point, you're just playing cash flow management. You're just paying cash flow management. Okay. So again, somebody asked for the 6 rules, Jill. No problem. We'll read them and we'll close out. 1, the first 3 are what you not to believe. The last 3 are what to do. 1, life is hard. Things are expensive. You already know that. Okay. Number 2, degree means you're going to be successful. That's a lie. We already know that, right? Number 3, all rich people are greedy. Good luck with that. You think that. Number 4, you need to develop a skill set. Figure it out. Whatever it is, go figure it out. I told y'all I went to a conference in Georgia, rural Georgia, in the country, and 50 white men was in the room learning how to be construction management, learning how to own a construction company and hire Hispanic people to work underneath them. The people are getting to an age where they got to do it. They have no choice. Okay. They got to develop a skill set. You laugh about these kids on YouTube and Instagram, but if they have enough clients, they good to go. Okay. Number 5, become visible and verifiable. As you probably noticed, I privated a lot of videos. I'll keep on doing that. There's different levels of visible and verifiable. When you get to a certain money, when you're at 100,000, 250,000, there's a certain level of visible and verifiable. When you get to $1 million and some plus, there's a different level of visible and verifiable you want to be. When you get more, there's just different levels of visible and verifiable. Who do you want to be visible and verifiable to? Do I want to be visible and verifiable to government officials, local entities, nonprofits, foundations? Who do I want to be visible and verifiable to? You need to answer that question for yourself. And it pivots and it changes as you grow and you have more life and more money, right? Number 6, seek mentors. All right. The visible and verifiable, when y'all be saying, I don't even have a LinkedIn, I go, and you think you're going to have $100,000 plus job with no LinkedIn? All right. That's like talking about GameStop and they still in 1994. You know what I'm saying? Visible and verifiable. Let me see this last part. Bob's, thank you for the $5 super chat. I started day trading. I'm still in the trying stage and I've already made money. If you know what you're doing, you can change your life in less than a year. It be like that. Catch the wave, y'all. So anyway, you guys, this is your girl Erica, Classic Line Blog. Good luck to you. We'll have more Wartime CEO experience. We'll have some other business owners come on and talk about what they're doing as they're gearing up in the 2020 year. If y'all ain't paid attention, every single music artist that's alive and can tap their toes is putting on a music concert. Roseanne Barr, y'all, is in town this week. I wasn't even prepared. I thought I was gonna have a night off, but I'm gonna go see Roseanne Barr. Okay, Roseanne Barr's coming out of her hiding. She doing a stand-up. I'm gonna go see it. Okay, there's other stuff going on in town coming up this week. I got like 5 events. I didn't plan on it, but you got to do what you got to do. You got to get ready. Stay ready. Won't have, stay ready. Don't have to get ready. All right. So listen, you guys, this is your girl, Erica from the Classic Climb Blog. Thank you so much for your time. Thank you so much for your love of this channel, dedication, all of it. You guys are the best. We still may do an Atlanta meetup weekend during Invest Fest, but we gonna see. I might be in Africa still. But anyway, all right, you guys, this is your girl, Erica, Classic Climb Blog. Later.